Why almost all avoidants return after rejecting you. 1. Avoidant attachment. A closer look. Avoidants develop their attachment style in response to early life experiences, often shaped by caregivers who were distant, dismissive, or inconsistent. According to Dr. Stan Tatkin, author of Wired for Love, avoidants learn to rely on themselves and suppress their emotional needs to maintain a sense of control. This tendency to avoid vulnerability makes them withdraw when relationships become emotionally intense. 2. Independence as a coping mechanism. Avoidants often value independence over intimacy. This stems from a fear of losing themselves in a relationship. However, their withdrawal is not an indication of indifference, but a way to protect their autonomy. As Dr. Diane Poole Heller explains in her book, The Power of Attachment, avoidants crave connection but feel safest when emotional distance is maintained. 3. Why avoidants return. Emotional deactivation. Avoidants tend to suppress their emotions during conflict or stress. Over time, when the immediate intensity of the situation fades, they may begin to miss the connection and return to the relationship. Fear of being alone. While avoidants avoid deep emotional intimacy, they are not immune to loneliness. Research published in Attachment and Human Development reveals that avoidants often experience regret and longing for lost relationships once they've had time to process their emotions. Unresolved attachment. Despite their efforts to distance themselves, the emotional bond with their partner lingers. This can draw them back even if they struggle to express their feelings openly. 4. Avoidance and the need for space. Time and space are critical for avoidance. According to Dr. John Bowlby's attachment theory, avoidants rely on emotional distance to manage their fear of dependency. The time away allows them to regain a sense of equilibrium, making them more likely to reinitiate contact once they feel less overwhelmed. 5. The role of nostalgia. Avoidants often reflect on positive memories from past relationships, which can trigger a desire to reconnect. Studies from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships suggest that nostalgia for shared experiences can reignite their attachment, especially if they perceive the relationship as less threatening after time apart. 6. Avoidance and emotional contradictions. Avoidants live with an internal conflict. They desire connection but fear the vulnerability it requires. This push-pull behavior stems from their attempt to balance emotional safety with their need for independence. Their return is often a sign of this unresolved tension rather than a sudden change in their attachment style. How to handle their return. Assess your needs, establish clear boundaries, avoid over-pursuing, encourage growth.